I personally, I don't know about you, I like rolling intros because we can kind of start having a conversation and then decide whenever the episode starts.
Or if we want to edit stuff, we can.
Yeah. So, kind of just to jump right in, a little insight for all of our shoppers listening. I worked out before coming here, right? So my nether region, ass and balls, were a little moist, to say the least. And the chair that I'm sitting in at Elias's house, he warned, would absorb my sweat, but I feel more like it is extracting more liquid than it should.
In a sponge-like fashion.
Yeah, like everything's still wet. Like it didn't take what was already there and just absorb it. It's like drawing out more.
But does that mean that when you leave, your ass is going to be dry?
No, it's still going to be sweaty because it just keeps pulling. Like, my ass might be shriveled up and dead by the time I get out of here. I don't even know at this point.
So I told you to shower before you came here, but you refused.
If I showered, it'd still be sweaty.
Do you just
My body runs hot for like an hour after working out. It happened at work, too. That's why I stopped working out at work. Because at workout, I'd shower, purposely stand under like cold water for 5 minutes.
Nothing.
Dude, I'd get out of there. The second I did any kind of physical activity, like putting on my jeans, it was like, oh, hey, what's up? You're sweaty all over again.
Great.
Yeah, it's like my body's in like workout mode. So it's just like, oh, we're moving? Fuck yeah, release it. Open the floodgates. So, how was your week? How was your 2 weeks?
They've been all right. Yeah. The week after we recorded, I don't think anything interesting happened. Our store was getting ready for the grand opening of a new store that's right down the street from us. So they're like, oh, you're going to lose a ton of customers, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah, are they going to like Starbucks it? What's happening?
I don't know. I think they're just opening a new store because they want to have a presence in that part of that part of the city.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But we're gonna
strategy.
Right. We're gonna lose. I think they said something like 20 to 30% of our business, which I'm totally okay with that, just because it means less people I have to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. It's not going to affect your paycheck.
No.
Unless that store takes all your customers, and then
which I can't imagine why they would, but no. Other than that, this Monday that just passed, though, I had an interview.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I got an interview I thought it went okay. I haven't heard anything back from them, so maybe not super okay, but I feel like it would take more than a week for them to make like a decision based on the fact that it's not just like a job job, it's like a career.
Well, any position I think takes time. Like they have to interview more candidates. They
want to review who they have.
Yeah. It's just a hurry up and wait kind of thing.
But I like to give people like a week. And so today I emailed the guy in the morning and gave him like a thank you email. Just thanking him for taking the time to hear me out.
Smart. You stay in his head, right?
I tried to. I mean, I thought I did that at the interview because apparently I was the only person there who printed out their resume in color. And I was apparently the only person with a resume that has color.
Okay.
I also printed it on like that nice, like thick, like 35-pound paper where it's not like cardstock, but it's like obviously high quality paper.
Yeah, it's more expensive than computer paper.
And it's nice. It's like yellowed and stuff like that, so it looks a little more antique-y, which is kind of dope. And I also have business cards. Like when I really seriously wanted a better job, I started printing out. I went on Vistaprint and I got, I think it's like 250 business cards for like $10 or something.
Okay.
But
Vistaprint,
I paid
always coming through with the deals on
always
business cards.
Always.
Christy uses them exclusively.
Free plug, by the way, for Vistaprint.
For dude, they pay you to fucking buy a business card. They're like, we'll give you $50 if you want to like print 500 of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And I ended up paying a little more. I think I paid like $20 for mine because I got them on actual cardstock. So they're thick. They're like cardboard. And they're bright red and everything like that. So they stand out. And the guy that was interviewing me was like, in the amount of time that I've been interviewing people for all these years, you're the only person who's ever brought me a business card, ever.
Wow.
And I was like, really? Seriously? And he's like, yeah, legit. No one's ever brought me a business card before. And I was like, well, I mean, I just wanted to show you guys that I care. I want to put in the extra effort. It's not just like, yeah, here's a piece of paper. Call me if you like me.
Okay.
So whatever, we had the interview. He gave me some good advice about what the industry is like and all that stuff. And nothing. I sent him the email today, so hopefully I'll hear back something, this coming week. Although interesting thing during the interview.
Yeah.
He asked me at one point, the question went, what are your salary expectations? But I've never gotten a salary at a job. I've only ever gotten like hourly pay. So my default was to tell him like, well, I make X amount of money at my job right now.
Oh, did you tell him hourly?
Yeah, because I don't have a salary at my job.
Doesn't matter.
And I don't know what my current my current pay rate equals in a salary because I'm bad at math. And so I told him that, and I was like, but like I get that it's I have to get my foot in the door, so I'd be willing to obviously take a small pay cut, and then we can review my pay after 90 days or whatever based on my performance. And he's a younger guy, so he's like, listen, man, you seem really direct, you seem really smart, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start over because I want to teach you something. I want you to be direct with me. When I ask you what are your salary expectations, I want you to give me a number. Tell me how much money you want. Because you're not here to save lives. You're not here to make anybody's life better. You're not here to change the world. You're here to get a job so you can make money to provide for you and your family, right? And I was like, yes. What was going on in my brain was like, holy fuck, no one in an interview has ever been that direct with me.
Yeah.
So yes.
So I got like the crash course on interviewing from Christy and my mother-in-law.
Okay.
Because they're like, I mean, Christy obviously she worked in HR for 4.5, 5 years, so she did a lot of interviewing. And then her mom, my mother-in-law, is like a super successful, like high-level business executive. So one of the things they always said was, you always overshoot your salary.
Yeah.
Because you want to come down, you want to compromise down to something you actually wanted, right? So if you want 40, you say 50.
Yeah.
And then you come down.
Shoot for the moon, land among the stars.
And you never go, well, this is what I can pay. And you go, this is my number. Like this is what, and it's always right. So it's
Which
really
I like,
awesome that he did that.
Yeah, I like that he gave me the opportunity. So I told him, like, look, realistically,
like cool.
I was like, I'd like 40,000 a year. That works out to I think like roughly like almost $20 an hour. I think
it's about that. Yeah,
like 19 something and change. And he's like, okay, much better answer. So he writes it down and he goes, okay, now why do you want 40,000 a year? Like quantify that number for me. And I was like, well, I can either quantify it for you with what's on my resume or I can tell you why. And he goes, perfect. Tell me why you want 40,000 a year. Why you think you deserve 40,000 a year for this job. And I was like, well, all the jobs that I've had since I was 15 to right now have, as far as I can tell, they've given me the natural skill set to be good in this field. And not only to be good, but to excel. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think my skills at this exact moment command more than $40,000, but I think right now, without any polishing or any training, I think $40,000 is a fair amount of money to compensate me for the amount of skills and the amount of work that I can put into the company, so that later on down the line, when you guys help groom me and teach me like what the industry is really like and how to be better at my job, then I can command more money for my skills. Because now not only do I have a natural skill set, I have a training skill set that I've developed within the industry. And he goes, okay, good. Really good answer. Thank you. Writes down a couple notes, and then we just kept talking.
What if he's writing? What if he's like got to pick up frozen ravioli?
It's possible.
On the way. No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Know.
But that's what I always think whenever anyone's like...
They're just doodling. They're like, and this is the house with a little
Is this
sunlight?
what Batman's feet look like?
Oh my God, I've never actually seen Batman's feet.
Should I draw the nipples into the costume or no nipples? Was that a hit back then? Or
was some note to self, contact George Clooney.
He just picks up the phone. No.
Like, no.
Well.
Thanks, George. Click. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it goes well because I was really honest because when he asked me like, give me 3 concrete reasons why you want to leave Home Depot, and I was like, there's nothing wrong with Home Depot as a company. Like, if you really break it down, and I can tell you this as an employee, there's nothing wrong with them. Like, they're not an inherently evil company. They don't do anything wrong as far as I can see. There are some business practices that I think could probably change, but that's less Home Depot and more the retail industry as a whole.
I don't think any company is inherently evil. I think they can become evil when they lose sight of the fact that everything is for profit. But that's the point of a business too. It's like
you're not a charity. You're there to make money.
Yeah, like literally,
you're there to build value for your investors.
The definition of a business is a money-making organization.
Right.
Like it's literally the only point.
That's it.
That's why businesses exist. Like
exactly.
Make money.
So there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing inherently wrong with working for them. But like I said, there are a couple things that maybe can change, but it's not so much Home Depot's fault as it is that's just the general retail environment in the U.S.
Yeah.
And consumer-based like feelings and attitudes that cause stores to act the way that they do. Like, should we be open on Mother's Day? No. I don't think we should be open on Mother's Day.
Why not?
Well, like, let me just pop into Home Depot and get Mom a chainsaw. It's what she's always wanted. Like, no, it's a Sunday. Also, like, guys, we can close on a Sunday. It's gonna be fine.
Do you think you are Chick-fil-A?
Yes.
Get to work.
So I just told him straight up, like, probably the main reason is the scheduling. Like, I would like to go back to having a standard, like, Monday through Friday job so that I can have a semblance of, like, normalcy and stability in my life that retail doesn't give me. Like, it's really difficult for me to coordinate time with, like, my parents and my sisters and my significant other. It's really difficult to do that with retail, especially when all of them are either, in normal 9-to-5 jobs or my parents who are retired.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, this Sunday, I'm probably going to have to work on Mother's Day. And that blows because that's the day that my parents are coming down from the beach to spend with time with my sisters and everybody to celebrate my dad's birthday, my sister's birthday, and Mother's Day all in one day.
Oh, that sucks, dude. You couldn't request it off?
I did, and they were like, sorry.
Oh.
Yep.
It's so weird to me because the retail I worked in was obviously smaller, right? Home Depot was a much larger store with a lot more moving parts, a lot more employees, and a lot more customers. But when I worked at Starbucks, they were so good about when you requested a day off, they would give it to you. Like, they wouldn't schedule you. Unless it was like you were the fourth person to ask for that day off and it was like, hey, dude, you didn't get here in time. Like, everyone else put in for this earlier. But they were usually pretty good about it. So I never had to experience that really. So that sucks. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. I mean, like, it's
blows.
The HR lady told me that she would at least try. She's like, look, I'll look into the schedule and see what I can do.
Oh God, you have to have an HR person there?
Yeah.
Like, on site?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have 2 HR people on site.
Big old place.
No, it's only 2 of them. And they're only there, of course, Monday through Friday because there's no HR claims on the weekends. And no, she's like, I'll look into it.
Zero sexual harassment on Saturdays and Sundays.
Exactly. It's the days of the Lord. You inappropriately touch yourselves Monday through Friday, all right? Like normal people.
Listen, no one's going to fondle you on Saturday. Just chill your panties.
Don't worry about it. So, she said she'd look into it. And finally, when I asked, like, hey, was I able to get that Sunday?
Yeah.
Because I have that Friday and Saturday off. And I was like, let me know. If you can't do it, I'd be willing to switch with somebody or anything like that. And she's like, sorry, you're going to have to work on Sunday. And I was like, son of a bitch.
So what was the last reason?
Pay.
Just general.
I don't feel like I'm compensated well enough for the amount of like customer service that I provide and the quality of customer service and also the amount of logistical support that I provide to the department. I just don't think I'm compensated well enough. Granted, I'm sure a lot of people don't think that they're compensated well enough, but I know I have met people and have known them where their reasoning behind I'm not compensated well enough is just I want more money because I deserve more money. Yeah. But they can't ever actually like
quantify.
They can't give you a concrete reason why they deserve more money. I can.
At least you look at monetary compensation, like salary and stuff like that. At least you look at it the right way. I feel like a lot of people look at it the wrong way.
And what do you mean? People
tend to tie that number to your value as a human being, and that's not what's happening. That business is paying for the service.
That's what providing. A credit score is for.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I thought we were in China. My bad.
They're paying you for a service, right? So it's like people complain. It's like, what was that AOC thing that she put up about the croissant in the fucking airport?
I don't pay attention to her.
Oh, I mean, no one should. But she's kind of a loon. But she was saying like, wow, $7 for a croissant in a New York airport and we can't pay the employee serving it more than minimum wage. And I'm like, you don't understand how compensation works. That person isn't paid based on the value of them as a human being. That value is priceless. Yeah. Because life is priceless. Like you're being compensated for the value of the service, and putting a croissant on a plate and handing it to someone is really not a very high-paying service you're doing.
Also, I'm sure that multi-billion-dollar corporations look at competition and they look at general salary ranges for equal or similar jobs throughout the country, and then say, okay, well, based on all of that data, because we can afford to have people to look at this data and extrapolate an answer for us, in our budget, this is what we can afford to pay people. That's why when people are like, $15 minimum wage across the board, and I'm like, stop, because there's no math behind that. You just came up with an arbitrary number that makes you feel good, and you said, yeah, that's what I want. And it's like, no, because at that point, if you raise the $15, like if you raise minimum wage nationwide to $15 an hour, you now took people whose jobs were really only worth, let's say, $9 or $10 an hour, because that's the amount of skill that's required to do that job, and you gave them $15 an hour, right? what happens to the people who were making $15 an hour normally because that's what their job was worth? Now they're going to ask for $30 to $40 an hour and so forth and so on. You just created a whole new class of rich people that didn't exist before. And they're just going to justify it by saying, well, if the poor people make more money, I want to make more money. And it doesn't work like that because there's no math behind that.
You're also not taking into account standard of living costs in different states. And
Different cities.
Living in New York is very different from living in Tennessee. And your cost of living is much different.
Dude, I saw this this chart the other day that was put out. Somebody linked to it from the Wall Street Journal, I think it was, that they showed from 2015 to 2017 the average annual salary that somebody needs to make in the top like 20 cities in the country to live there. And it was like Miami, average salary $79,580 to afford a house. New York City, $182,000. San Jose, California, $248,000 a year by yourself is the average income to afford a home there.
Did you check San Francisco?
San Francisco was less, 199.
I'm sure it's more.
Los Angeles, 142.
Dude, in New York, I did a
Louisiana, 38.
Yep, I did. So here, I make just under 40 right now. And I did the conversion if I were to live in New York, like what I would have to make to have the same standard of living. And it was like, oh, you'd be making $90,000 a year. I'm like, what? How is this right?
It's not. That's the maddening part about it.
It's crazy. And New York's crazier because it's like, are you in Manhattan or are you in Queens or are you in Brooklyn or
what borough are you in? Are you even here? Are you in Staten Island? Are you across the bridge in Jersey?
Are you upstate? Like, where are you? So it's like it everything moves around because if you go upstate, it actually gets a little bit lower depending on where you go.
I'm sure it does.
Like we were looking at, I think it's called Waterston or something like that at one point, and it actually was pretty comparable to Miami.
Yeah, there are some places that are like in certain states that you don't really know that much about, but you're like, okay, that's reasonable. Yeah, but reasonable in comparison to what?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because I mean, like, I think that living in like Georgia, which that chart said that like I think Georgia, the average income that you needed to buy a house was like $45,000 a year.
Yeah, it's pretty normal.
Which is
pretty
like,
average.
okay, that's fine. But then you go there, for those of you that have not been to Georgia, you go there and you see what like, let's say a $200,000 house is, right? My townhouse was like 220 something, and it's a fixer upper. If you look at houses right now, like go on realtor.com, go to Georgia, just generally Georgia. Go to Atlanta. Let's go to Atlanta and just put in $250,000 max price for a house. Dude, there are houses like with a garage and a pool. Like I'm talking the American dream here.
Dude, this was me searching for houses in Raleigh, North Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina. It's
bonkers.
Unbelievable.
It's fucking bonkers.
Also, Charlotte, beautiful city.
Oh, absolutely. I've been there. It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous city. Dude, and you can have a house like right outside the city.
And it's a fucking house.
Dude, a 5-bedroom, 4-bath.
2-car garage.
Acre of land for like 350. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, but this is the problem with living in a big city like Miami.
Yeah, especially a city like Miami who's trying to come up more and more and more and more and more and be in the same stratosphere as, you know, New York and LA and we're being talked about that way now.
Yeah,
like I listen to podcasts from comedians in New York and like different actors, different people, and people talk about Miami way more now.
Yeah,
and they talk about Miami like they talk about Vegas, which kind of worries.
In what way? Wait, hold on.
Like you should only go to Miami for 3 days and then leave because anything after that's way too much.
Yeah, you should probably leave now while you still can.
Yeah, everyone leave. If everyone can leave, oh my God.
Could you please leave? The traffic is horrible and the people are just garbage.
But I'm glad you had a good interview, man. I'm glad that you. Also, I'm glad that guy was so like helpful and like and kind of like welcoming.
Yeah.
And guru-y.
And it also gave me
it's really dope of him.
It gave me the confidence now that if nothing happens with this company, the next place that I go to, I'm gonna have that idea that when they're like, okay, so what are your salary expectations? I want $40,000.
And also, you can state the job description as to why. Be like, well, based on the different requirements of this job position, I really feel like the compensation suits the position.
I mean, this one was kind of a long shot because they weren't interviewing for any specific job. I just straight emailed them and was like, hey, what do you guys got? And they were just like, come in for an interview. We'll talk about it.
Nice.
And they had, I think, 2 or 3 positions open. I'm sure not all of them are worth $40,000, but even if it's close, even if they tell me like, listen, we have this position for you, we can start you at 36 or 37.
That's fine.
Do it. Let's go.
Like I said, you want to go up.
In 90 days
So
to a
you can come
year
back.
or whatever, we'll review. The only thing that was kind of weird was that after a year, you get a week of paid vacation, and after 5 years, you get 2 weeks. It's a little rough.
Rough. How much PTO do you get? Like sick
You
time?
get 3 days of, after 90 days, you get 3 days of sick time. And then after a year, you get an additional 3 days. Or something to that effect.
Jesus, that is not a
Yeah.
lot of time.
There was actually something online I read, like I think it was earlier this year, that someone was like, "Wouldn't it be cool if you could take your PTO with you when you went job to job, like to
That would
within
be
a
kinda
reasonable
cool.
amount?"
Yeah, like if it could like roll over to your next position. But everyone has a different PTO. Like my PTO policy at work is 7 days. Or like, well, personal time is 7 days. And then that's the only time that they'll pay out. So if you have all 7 days at the end of the year, you kind of get like a bonus check.
That's kind of how it was
Here
with
you
the police department. When I left, they were like, "Well, you have all this accrued time that you never used, so here's your money."
No, if you leave a job and you have vacation time and stuff, they have to pay you out for that.
Not always.
Yeah. Well, at my job, no.
Yeah, well.
But personal time, they do have to pay you out. Yes.
Right.
Anything you haven't used. When you accrue time, they normally have to pay you out for it because you've earned that time. And then if your salary, they'll usually do a severance, which acts as that.
Right.
So like paying your vacation is almost like a non-exempt severance package, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's all a thing.
Switching gears completely,
Hey, what's up?
I have to ask you a question
Yeah, ask me a question, man.
because we're gonna come back to this in
I'm
October.
so fucking ready for your question.
I hope you are.
I don't have the economy of words
The economy of words.
to express to you.
That's such a great phrase. You
How ready I
beautiful
am.
son of a bitch. Can I
Like
steal that?
Oh, for sure. Do take
The
it.
economy of
The
words.
economy or the economy of a language.
Holy shit.
Ooh, shit.
God
I
damn.
don't even know where I heard that. I heard that somewhere.
That's amazing.
I'm not smart enough to think of that. but I had the same reaction.
But you're
to it.
you're humble enough to admit it though, which
for
is nice.
sure. Yeah. But I had the same reaction you did. I was like, oh,
Fuck.
you just opened up another part of my fucking cerebellum, dude. What the fuck?
Right in the fucking cortex. All right.
Yeah, what's the question?
So we're gonna revisit this in October,
yeah, we are.
but I gotta
Revisiting.
just hear me out. Dumb motherfucker. What is hands down the creepiest thing you've ever seen in your life?
What is hands down the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of a ghost story, but it's the most. Welcome to Ghost Stories.
A new podcast coming to you from the Dairy Aisle. Which,
so-
by the way, we're 22 minutes in and we didn't even say the name of the fucking podcast.
Oh, hey.
Hey guys, welcome back to
All
the
right, well,
Dairy
that was a
Aisle.
good intro. Hey, welcome to the Dairy.
23 minutes later.
We can record like an intro and like fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Throw it in there.
So it was Warp Tour 2008 or 2009. I can't remember the exact date, but it's one of those. It's when it was in Bayside.
We were young men.
We were young men. It was in Bayside. So that year, I think, was 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Because it was a year after Christy and I started dating. So we went to Warp Tour. Christy and I went to Warp Tour with my best friend at the time from California and her best friend at the time from Miami. And we went to Warp Tour. We parked in Bayside Garage. We went over there. We had a great time. It was fucking baller as shit. We were cool as fuck. We sweated. We crowd surfed. We fucking moshed. We did all the things. We did some drugs. And
You did drugs.
we did drugs. And then so we were done. We're fucking walking out. We're talking about how great everything was. And we get back to the garage. And we kind of like left late to like kind of let everyone leave to like avoid traffic.
Around what time was this? Generally.
Sun was setting and it was summertime, so it was probably around 7:30.
Okay, yeah.
8
that
o'clock.
sounds
Like
about right.
it's just there was still light out, but not a ton. It was definitely right before like twilight. Not the movie, the book. And we get to the car and there's not a lot of people around. So, and I noticed because our car is kind of just like fucking, there's like not really many cars left. So we hop in the car, Christy and I get in the back seat. Gio and Danny, which are the name of our friends, get in the front seat. Gio passenger, Danny driving was her car. And Christy tells them, hey, turn around so we can get a picture of you. So they turn around and she snaps a pic. We're like, great, let's ride. Literally, We're looking forward. They turn around for 3 seconds. They turn back around, and then we drive away. The car was already on. So later on, Christy gets those pictures. That was like a disposable camera. You know, those were a thing, kids. And she gets them, like, she gets a CD of it. Like, so she doesn't get the print, and she gets like a digital copy of it. And she notices something in front of the car when she's like looking at it, and she's like, what is that?
If we had a higher production value, this is where we'd cue in the creepy music.
Yeah, cue in creeps music. And
How to say what?
and she brightens the image, and there's like an 11-year-old little girl standing in front of the car, like right at the hood, staring into the car.
What the fuck?
And it looks like she has like this weird dress on, like she has like a little what the fuck is that called?
Like the bangs?
Bangs, yeah. She has like those
The
like
straight cut.
Asian bangs, yeah, like straight cut Asian bangs.
Right.
Long hair, and she's just staring into the car, and it creeped us the fuck out.
Yeah, no,
It
you
was
set that
like-
photo right on fire.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck is that? And we went through it a bunch of times, dude. There was no cars around. We were literally looking out of the windshield. We took the picture looking out the windshield. They turned around for 1 second and turned back around, and we left.
And you never
there
saw
was
her?
no one there. Actually, I can pull up the picture for you really quick.
No, I don't want to see it.
It's fucking I kind of need you to see it.
I don't want to see it.
I need you to. Though.
No.
I need you to confirm
I don't want
with me.
I don't need to confirm. I believe you. I don't want to see it.
Dude. And I was like, first of all,
I'm a
it's like-
superstitious little bitch, just so you
it's
know that.
An 11 to 12-year-old little girl for sure.
Who the fuck is she doing in Bayside
What is she
at this
doing at
time?
Bayside during Warped Tour? There's no parents around. Why are you staring into the car? Why? Like, we would notice that. Like, you'd notice a person standing in a bright pink dress. Like, it's not like she's wearing like a muted tone or she blends into the background. Like, no, it is a bright pink dress. She's just standing there. And Christy and I were just creeped the fuck out for like
Yeah, I would be too. What the fuck?
ever. It was but yeah, that was probably one of the creepiest moments. I've told that story and shown that picture to like straight fucking non-believers, people who have like never had like an encounter and never like but like always find
And they were just like
logical
not
reason,
negative.
dude. And I was like, look, this is what happened. And they were like, I don't know. I'm like,
You know what you can do? You can actually send that photo to the Kodak company and have them verify it. Like their photographic engineers will tell you if she's like an anomaly, if she's like a negative from another photo, maybe that somebody had taken on maybe Christy had taken on the camera before.
oh, maybe, but
There's
dude,
so-
it's like so perfectly placed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Dude, how crazy would it be?
it's possible.
My entire life, the creep was a lie.
It's possible.
It is possible.
But just call Kodak.
hope it's not though.
I
Best.
can't.
It's honestly, best ghost story.
That's a pretty. I got goosebumps just listening to that
Right?
shit.
Fucking creepy shit. Because especially it's like nothing happened to us.
Right.
But nothing ever has. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
knock on woodsies, but it was just like a random ass.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
What the fuck?
And you know what the crazy thing is that realistically, it's very possible that you guys had the car on, right? Cars in park. You guys are ready to leave. And her parents probably passed ahead of you guys or whoever she was with, if she even exists. Probably passed right by the car.
Yeah.
Nobody saw them. And it just so happened that she was probably looking forward and she probably saw your friends turn around like to look into the back of the car. And the amount of movement in the car caught her eye, and she just happened to look straight into the car at that exact moment because kids are curious like that, and that's who you caught.
See, this is why I want to show you the picture. She's planted full frontal
Oh,
looking into, dude, I'm not like, dude, she's planted there. She's
yeah,
like,
but I don't want to see the photo.
point of her standing there is I'm looking into your car.
No, unacceptable.
I was like,
And was she an Asian girl, or she just had the Asian girl haircut?
no, she looks Hispanic.
Okay.
But it's like that Central South American, really straight black hair.
Maybe your friends from California are haunted. Maybe that's their problem.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck. Never seen her again. Never come out in any pictures.
You should
never-
ask. You should ask them if she's ever showed up in any more of their pictures.
Our mutual friend Jay went on like a total fucking like information hunt because he's one of those people that's like, nah, that's not real.
Well, Jay
not that
al-
it's not real, but like,
Jay also is the only person who could be in a haunted house, and his only emotional reaction would be to get angry at ghosts.
yeah, be like,
Because-
because leave me the fuck alone.
To Jay, it's an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Like how really?
No, I have another creepy story. I have one more creepy story. It's very quick.
Okay,
And then you go.
They're making the creepiness is making me gotta poop.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
Now it's you?
Yeah. Now it's me, which
Okay,
to
well,
the
one
point
more.
to the point where we might either need to pause for a commercial break,
Ooh.
or you might have to just go on a solo rant while I'm using the
A
bathroom.
commercial plop. Oh, I can fucking entertain.
I know
for,
you can.
For like 5 minutes.
I did an entire episode by myself.
I know.
I believe you. You can
you need
do
to
it.
do another one of those, by the way.
Well, Jay has been asking me to start another
oh,
podcast.
Dude, he wants to. He wants you to.
Which, if I do,
You
by the
should.
way, listeners, we'll make sure that we link it in future episodes. If I decide to do a solo like story based podcast,
Why not? Do a half an hour fucking.
I've been thinking about doing just 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Like 25 to 30 minutes each, and I just have to come up with like a name, and I want to get like some sound effects to throw in there and shit.
Do it.
But anyways, go ahead with your creepy story.
So, in Savannah, Georgia.
I love,
it's
which
like-
I love.
Oh,
I've been there
The best.
quite a few times, and I love it.
It's very great. If you are in Savannah, eat at. Oh my God! What the? I cannot believe I'm blanking.
Well,
on
if you are in Savannah and you want to go eat somewhere and you haven't been there before, or you're gonna go and you're gonna eat somewhere, do yourself a favor. Go pig out at the Crystal Beer Palace.
Crystal Beer Palace is great, but if you want breakfast, go to
The
J.
there's one that's
What's it called, man?
there's one that's something called like the Goose Feather Inn, I think it's called. We went there for breakfast. Yo, the best croissants that I've ever had in my life, and I say that as somebody who grew up eating croissants from Costco.
Oh Jesus!
For those of you that have had croissants from Costco, you know what I'm talking about.
croissants from Costco.
Bro, have you ever gone into Costco in the morning? Did you ever go like with your mom to like Costco in the morning?
No, we were never a Costco family.
Were you a BJ's family?
No, we were
Sam's
a
Club?
Publix, Sedanos Presidente, Food Star, and everything. So we would go and anything like whatever was cheapest in each place.
That's where you're going.
That's where we'd go. So it's like, okay, we need to go get juices, right? We need to go get you Capri Sun for your lunches. Okay, which spot has
the
Capri Sun
cheapest
the
one.
cheapest?
We're going there.
We're going there.
Okay, yeah. Mom usually
Shopping day was like a whole day.
that was a thing.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Mom had like she had a membership to Costco and to BJ's. I don't think she ever had them at the same time. She'd alternate depending on which membership was cheaper.
Yeah.
But the Costco years were the good ones because in the morning on a
Costco's
Saturday,
superior, by the way.
it is. BJ's isn't bad though.
So what about these Costco croissants, though?
So mom in the morning would be like, "Oh, it's Saturday. We're having guests over tonight." That's really the only reason that she'd have the memberships is because it's cheaper to go to Costco and be like, "I'm going to buy a giant party platter of like salami and cheese and olives and things like that." It's way cheaper to do that than it is to get it at Publix or Winn-Dixie or whatever.
For sure.
But we'd go Saturday morning. I remember being a little kid. I'd grab my Game Boy, slide Pokemon in that thing, grab my jacket, and we'd go. And we'd get to Costco at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning because they open at human times, not at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well,
But the
7 o'clock in the
bakers are
morning is
there.
evening time.
The bakers are there early because they fresh bake everything. And dude, those
Bakers
doors
are there at like 4 in the morning.
those doors would fucking just slide open. You'd get like maybe a quarter of the way into the store, and it began the wafting of the smell of freshly baked Costco croissants. Yo, and it would just like, as a kid playing Pokemon on your Game Boy Color, it's hard to kind of like divert your attention away from anything. Or well, it's hard for anything to divert your attention away from the game.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 times Costco croissants would just make my head shoot up like a fucking meerkat. I was like, where the fuck are the Costco?
Where are those buttery pieces of fucking heaven?
Dude, so good. And this place in Savannah makes better croissants than that.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I think it's called the Goose Feather Inn or some shit like that.
That's a good name for a place.
It's incredible
Yeah.
though.
So I will remember what this thing is, but I'm going to go back to my creepy story about Savannah.
I'm gonna
What
tell
was
you
it?
a creepy story because I gotta use the bathroom. Actually, you know what? We'll come back after this commercial break. And by commercial, I mean a bathroom poop and
But
break.
I'm going to entertain them. I'm not going to tell the creepy story, but I'm just going to go on a rant.
Oh, okay, entertain. Go for it.
Yeah. All right. So Elias is.
Because we're still learning about how to do all this nonsense. Do I have to turn off this fucking mic?
Oh yeah, you probably should, so I don't come out on like your mic.
Oh,
too.
double mics, right? Okay,
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
on.
So just there you go. Hey, now you're gooch. Now you're gooch. I won't be in a second. So while Elias goes take care of business, how's everyone doing? You know, look at us. Look at us, like some fucking little baby birds ready to jump out of the nest and fly on our own. It's just you and me, shoppers. It's just you and me. So, what the fuck is going on? There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of movement going on in my life that I'm excited about, that I'm excited to tell you guys about. You know what I mean? Because I love you guys, even though I don't know you guys. And for whoever's listening, thank you for listening. It means a lot, and I'm glad that if us rambling for an hour to an hour and a half every 2 weeks can bring some kind of joy or entertainment in your life, I'm really glad. And I'm glad that, fate brought us together. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Exciting purchases. Just bought a new car. That's great. Feels good. It's a nice car. It's definitely nicer than any car I've ever had. So that's a good thing. And the acting thing is going really well. I'm loving it. We just got our second scene. It's from The Bourne Legacy, so it's going to be like a action thriller scene. It's going to be good. It's a way different range of emotions from La La Land. Speaking of La La Land, by the way, our rehearsal videos are up for that scene. So if you guys could actually go to the page Miami Acting Studio, you can just search it on YouTube and it'll have all of our stuff. I have 3 videos up there, but you should only watch 2 of them because I don't know why he posted. One of them was like we messed up, so we started over. But I have 2 main videos on there. So watch Vanessa and James and Anna Karen and James, not Anna Karen and James 2. That's the mess up. But yeah, so those are up. If you guys could do me a huge favor and go just give those a view, maybe, write a comment, tell me how I did, thumbs up. That'd be super awesome. It would be great to get a little bit more, what do you call it? I'm saying a lot because I'm fucking horrible at talking. What is the thing? It'd be great to get a little bit more awareness from that YouTube page and show my instructor that we got fucking clout up in these streets, huh? We got clout up in these streets. And isn't that what it's about at the end of the day? It's about the clout. It's about getting people to know what the fuck is up. Because a lot's up right now. Fuck, man. Feels so good to be alive. Fucking A, man. What the fuck am I even talking about? Coffee is delicious. That's what I'm drinking right now. Oh, thank you. Thank you, life, for giving me all these things. Also, you guys write to us because we love when you write to us, and we love knowing what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what you want to hear about, what you don't want to hear about. Do you like our format? Is there anything specifically you want us to talk about? I'm interested in maybe doing like a listener request segment. That'd be cool. Maybe talking about a topic that you guys give us. That would be fun. That'd be a fun thing, huh? Good little thing there. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just a good day. A lot of good things happening, and it sounds like Elias having a real good time in there. There's a lot of moaning. I heard some laughter too. I don't know what exactly his poop ritual is, but sounds like a good time. Sounds like a good time. Oh, what else? What else is going on? There's some stuff going on with the acting thing that I actually kind of want Elias to be here to listen to because I want to tell him. What else? What else? Moving soon. That's a good thing. Moving into a bigger place, which is really fun. We have like way too many animals, so we're like running out of space really quick. So it's so nice when you can make. When you feel that kind of cramped feeling where you're like, oh man, I think it's time to kind of like upgrade. I think it's time to move. It's time to move on up. It's time to make that shift to the next level of your life. And it's nice when that happens and you're in a position where you can do it. It's kind of cool. And this is kind of a first, just like with the car. This is the first time I've been able to I've been in that position and I can immediately be like, hey, you know what? Doing it. So that feels good. That's a good feeling. I think our camera just shut off. It made a weird noise. Maybe it's the ghost girl from my past. No, ghost girl. Oh, man. Do you guys have animals? They're kind of the best. I love my animals so much. I'm literally getting a bigger house to give them enough space to be super comfortable, cushy living pups and kitties, I'm doing it for them because I do it for the people I love. And that's why we do this podcast, because we love you guys. And we do it for you. So I hope that we can give you that good, and not that fake. I hope you don't feel like it's that fake. And if you do feel like it's that fake, fucking tell us it's that fake, and we'll fix that shit. Because that's not fair to you. That's not fair to you at all. It's just, it is what it is. Have you guys also seen that the internet did a good thing? And we fucking got Sonic totally reconstructed, refitted, redone. It's amazing, right? Because the internet mob can be atrocious, but man, can they also be heroic. We made an entire fucking film production go back to the drawing board with the main character of their film and redo it. Fucking everyone pat yourself on the back. That's just good jobs. Oh, speaking of good jobs, my little pooper's back.
That was a good poop.
That was a good one?
That was a good
It
one.
was a good one?
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? Creepy stories.
That's right.
Creepy
Your second
I'm gonna
creepy
tell you
story from Savannah,
one
which is
more creepy story.
It's a pretty haunted city.
So Savannah, we have very haunted cities, known for hauntings.
Yes.
So
Really good ghost tours, by the way.
Huh?
Really good ghost tours, apparently.
Great ghost tours.
I haven't taken one, but I've heard that they are
I'm
fantastic.
about to tell you some shit.
Thank you. Go
First
ahead.
time we went on a ghost tour, we went to the Weeds house, which is probably like the big spot in Savannah.
Yeah.
So the first time we went with like 6 friends and definitely had some like weird experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like, oh my God, ghosts. But it definitely made me like, wait, what the fuck was that? And like how and why? But it wasn't anything crazy, right? So the second time we go back, we're there with a different group of friends. So we tell them, hey, this is a great ghost tour, and they want to do a ghost tour. So we went back to the Weeds house. And they'd opened up a new section of the house, so we were excited about it too. So we get to the house, everything's kind of Gucci, and they start taking us through the parlor rooms. So this house had actually 2 parlor rooms. It had a male parlor room and a female parlor room. So that way, the males can entertain the males, and then the females can entertain the females. So we go into the male one. They're giving us a tour. They're giving us all the stuffs, all the insights, and we walk through to the female parlor afterward because they're only separated by like by a sliding door.
Oh, okay.
So we get in there, and I start. You know me, I'm a little bit of a goof.
Of course.
So I start doing what I do, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking Goofy movie up in this parlor room. I'm having some fun with the ladies.
Okay.
So I start talking a bit of shit when it comes to the lady of the house, like Lady Weeds. And all of a sudden, as I'm making my yolks, I start getting really hot.
Like your body physically gets hot, like when you have a fever? Okay.
Like I start feeling like I'm in a sauna.
Oh, okay. Kind of like that whole like feeling
Like
when you open an
what?
oven and you get like that blast of hot air.
Yeah, but it's all over my body.
Ah, okay.
And it's like I'm hot. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And as I'm thinking about like, why do I feel so hot? Our friend turns around and she's like, yo, you are so red.
Really?
Like you are beet red. I'm like, okay, well, let's fucking try something. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'll behave for the rest of this tour. I didn't mean any disrespect. I'm not kidding you. I immediately cooled down.
Really now?
I immediately went back to norm. My face, no more redness, no more nothing. I was like, got it, hands in pockets, mouth closed. Just not going to speak anymore.
These are the rules.
So that's my other creepy story.
Wow.
That's my other creepy
So
story.
you had a ghost turn up the heat.
I had a ghost turn up the fucking heat, man. Put me in an oven. Put me in a Dutch oven.
Damn. In a Dutch, the smelliest ghost farts.
Oh, the smelliest of ovens.
Just of all time.
So what's your creep story? Give me some creeps.
I've never had a creepy incident as an adult. Thank God.
Really?
Yeah. The closest I got. So I'll give you the 2 that I know of that are like always in my head. There's one from my childhood and there's one from my teenage years. Mm-hmm. So as a kid, you're one of the few friends I have that like I stay in contact with that actually has physically been to my childhood home.
Yeah.
And has wandered through and witnessed how large my backyard was.
Yeah, very large.
This isn't like a flex or anything. This is, as the youth would say, this is like
a flex, but okay.
Yeah, this is like a real thing. Like we had like I think our backyard was like a half of an acre or something like that.
Yeah, it's a nice size.
It was big.
It's a nice size to be a child.
But it was also a jungle. Like the area that was just grass was maybe, I don't know,
Third of an acre.
Even less than that. Like,
oh wow, so
like
a lot
it was a small area that was grass. It was like maybe 1/16 of an acre was grass. It was like just grass.
I remember you having more grass.
And then everything else, there was just like a horseshoe. There was a jungle around it. And we had like nature trails and stuff like that were kind of dope. And when you're as young as I was in this story, your backyard might as well be the Amazon.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is how old were you?
This happened when I was about, I'd say 10.
Okay.
So I always had this like feeling like there was something in my backyard, right? And I don't mean like a feral animal. I meant like there was something not of this plane back there, right?
Extra planar.
But I made up these like, idiot kid rules when I was younger that I was like, everything's fine until the sun goes down. And things get worse when it rains.
Just like you're safe in the shower as long as your eyes are open.
Right. If your eyes are closed, you're getting stabbed right in the butt.
Yeah. You're safe in the deep end of the pool as long as you're looking at the water.
Yeah. If not, sharks.
If not, a shark the
literal
size of the Empire State Buildings
will just consume you instantly. So, and side note, I think I'm pronouncing this right. There's actually a phobia, like a fear of dark open waters and what may lay beneath.
Yeah.
It is called, I think I'm pronouncing it right, thalassophobia. I think.
I don't know enough to disagree.
There's
so
a
I will
subreddit
agree
for
with
it if you want to go look it up, where they literally just post photos that like induce that fear.
I don't
It's weird.
have that fear.
I'm terrified of it.
I'm not terrified of open water.
I'm terrified of dark open waters.
I'm terrified of great white sharks, though.
I don't think anybody's not terrified of great white
No,
sharks.
I have a phobia. One of my biggest fears in life is getting eaten by a great white shark.
Not an alligator, not a crocodile, not a sperm whale, nothing.
I mean, don't get me wrong; those things would be terrifying.
That would probably suck on an equal level.
But I'm talking about like when you get just by watching a video of something, you get fucking
that's how it is with you and sharks.
Yeah, you get like a paleo erection. You're just like, oh no, like when cats get when they fucking get scared.
Yeah,
that's how, like the video that they edited where that girl jumps into the water from like a little cliffside or whatever, and then as she jumps in,
you see the
there's
shark
like a
underwater?
great white shark.
No.
And it's not
it's
merged
fake.
video.
Yeah, but
Dude, my dick went into my body, my heart was in my throat, my stomach was in my ass. Nothing was where it was supposed to be.
eyeballs and ears.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
You ceased to be a functioning human.
Yeah, I was just a blob of shit.
So, I was like probably 9 or 10 years old. And at the time, we had these 2 German short-haired pointers, which for those of you who don't know what they are hunting dogs. We did not go hunting. They were my dad's dogs, but they were gorgeous, and we kept them in a kennel in the backyard.
Nice.
Right? So as I got older, my dad was like, awesome. Now somebody else can do these responsibilities, and I don't have to do them. So it'd be like...
The point of having children.
Right. It'd be like 8:30 at night, and he'd be like, hey, it's time to go feed the dogs here. So I'd go and I'd feed them. I'd get this like metal cup and I'd serve them from their bag.
As one does.
And I'd put it in their bowls, and then I'd have to walk both of the bowls out there, which sometimes he would just put the bag, like the bag of dog food, he'd put it in a metal trash can and just leave it next to the kennel so you could feed them there and not have to walk. That night I did have to walk.
Okay.
So I fill up their food. I go and I walk straight like almost the full length of the fucking backyard. And time out, because his thing is just really bothering me.
Is it fucking you up?
It's fucking me up. Hold
All
on.
right. If you can't ignore it, yeah.
Hold on.
We have a little pupper in here, but he's doing this thing where he's licking his paws to the point of saturation, and it's a very wet, noodly noise. It's kind of like. For you ASMR listeners. There you go. There you go, sassy butt. Go live your best life. It drives me up the wall when Porter does it too. And he has jowls, so it's like I'm just like,
Yeah,
kill me though.
Yeah, it becomes the worst possible noise known to mankind.
Oh god.
So anyways, so I walk back there. And I kind of knew it was going to rain because the weather was just fucking shit the whole day. And I go back there and I open the cage, and I was a kid, so I like looking back on it, I kind of wish we didn't keep them in a kennel, but I realized that with 3 small children living in the house, it probably wasn't smart to let 2 hunting dogs live inside the home.
Well,
But
it's just a lot of things.
we had the space. So looking back on it, I'm kind of like, we didn't need to keep them in a kennel that far away from the fucking house. It's kind of cruel. But anyways, I go back there, I feed them. As soon as I go into their cage, my routine was that I would go in there and I would pet them and I'd give them hugs and kisses and ask them how their day was and I'd give them their food and I'd chill in there while they ate.
What would they respond?
Usually just and
Good,
then
solid
eating.
dog response.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm there, like, just kind of hanging out with them. I would watch them eat just to make sure that they had a good appetite and stuff like that. And I heard like branches like cracking, like near where their cage was, which was like not uncommon because we had, squirrels and there's birds and shit back there. But these branches sounded a little bit bigger than normal.
Like snap.
Yeah.
Like something put significant amount of weight.
There had to be something that was at bare minimum my size or bigger that was breaking a branch, right? We didn't own any other dogs. The only thought, looking back on it now as an adult, could have been maybe a neighborhood cat that jumped down from a tree and landed the full force of its weight, all like 9.5 pounds of it, straight onto a branch.
It was just one noise?
It was just one noise.
One crack.
Yeah, just crack. But it sounded like guttural. It was a crack. And you're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, something made its presence known.
And I'm 10 years old in the dark in a cage with 2 hunting dogs. Like, I'm 50% feeling safe, 50% about to shit myself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I did the only logical thing I could think of at 10 years old. I let the girls out of the cage.
Oh, God.
And I said, go get it.
Yep.
And they fucking bolted out of the cage, just barking. Just like vicious barking. I'm pretty sure if I ask my parents, they're going to not remember this because they don't remember a lot of stuff from our childhood.
Yeah.
And my dad hears this and comes outside.
Yeah.
And he had like this big ass flashlight and he just starts screaming in Spanish. What's going on? Why'd you let the dogs out? Yada, yada, yada. I sprinted like Usain Bolt from the backyard to the back door of the backyard, telling my dad I heard something back there. And my dad's like, "What do you mean you heard something?" And I go, "I heard something. I don't know what it was, but something broke a branch." And he goes, "Okay, but branches break all the time. That could have been the wind. It could have been a squirrel. It could, like, him obviously being a dad, being logical and trying to get me to think like an adult."
And being an adult, yeah.
So I was like, I don't care. Something's back there. I let Sarina and Tequila loose, which those are their names.
Also, by the way, good move on your part.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's a big enough backyard so like someone could jump the fence and sneak
Right.
into your house.
Which
like,
I think ended
a
up
hobo
being...
could sleep back there. They think no one's gonna go back there. Like,
And I think that's sort of where my dad's mind went in that moment was, what if it's not a thing and a someone, right? And so he goes, all right, stay inside, lock the door. All right, I'm going to go put the dogs back in the cage. When I come back, I'll knock on the door, look through the glass, make sure it's me, and let me in. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
DEFCON 5.
I don't know what to do right now. So my whole thing was to grab a butter knife and
Smart.
And as referencing our previous episode with the pinchillos and all my experience being, a weekend ninja at home,
Yeah.
I grabbed a butter knife and I put it in my pocket because, I might have
And worst
to...
case, you could offer them toast.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Just be a good host.
Yeah, and if you can't fight them,
Offer
maybe you can
toast.
appease them
Exactly.
so they leave.
Be like, well, we're not going to kill him. Why didn't you kill him? Well, listen, the kid offered us toast,
Yeah.
okay? He even had a butter knife with him. Come on.
He was ready.
Yeah.
Like he wanted it.
That was...
You know what I mean?
That's what I call an attentive host. So, like, it felt like an eternity. It was probably all of maybe 7 minutes that Dad, like, went, put the dogs back in the cage,
Looked around.
made sure that they had food, checked around, and was like, that was probably a fucking cat or something, or a possum, and came back and knocked, and I was like, is that you? Is that the murderer? Is that the creature? And I see it's my dad, and he's like, just fucking let me inside. I let him inside. Problem solved. He's like, don't worry about it. You're okay. You did the right thing. Like 2 weeks after this happens, my uncle's in town from Puerto Rico. This is 1990. This is between 1999 and the year 2000, somewhere around there. This is roughly around the time that the resurgence of La Chupacabra started to like show up again in PR and stuff like that.
When did this happen?
This is, like I said, like 1999, 2000.
I wasn't
Like,
even aware that the chupacabra made a comeback around that time.
Yeah, like
But I mean, good for
it was a big deal like in the early like late 80s, early 90s, and then it started to make sort of like a resurgence, I think, between like 98 and 2001.
I love me some chupacabras.
Right.
You know
I mean,
what
the
I mean?
goat sucker.
Who doesn't love
little tiny
chupacabras,
alien
you know?
fucker. So he tells us this story. My uncle tells us a story that in Puerto Rico, there was this guy who would drive by this goat farm in like somewhere like in the jungles of Puerto Rico, where it was like the rural countryside.
Okay.
And he would drive by this farm that had a bunch of goats and shit like that, and he'd drive by it all the time. And he was friends with the owner. One night, it's raining. The guy drives by, and he notices that there's like no lights on. There's one light on in the house. One of the doors is open. Like some shit went down.
Yeah, this is not normal.
Right. Parks his car, finds the guy. The guy tells him like there's something in the farm. I don't know what it is. I heard a noise. I shot at like the darkness, and I'm in here now. And my uncle's telling us this story. This didn't happen to my uncle. He just heard this story while over there. So, you know, it's a game of telephone.
Yeah.
What probably happened was way less intense, but what we heard was, oh my God, this is a horror movie.
Yeah, there's something on the farm. We don't know where the fuck it is.
Yeah. And so the guy is like, well, I shot at something. I don't know what it is, but fuck that. This place isn't safe. The guy's like, I'm going to stay with you here tonight because you're my boy. Let's lock down the house. Like, apparently they locked down the house. The next morning, the guy comes out and his friend finds a severed goat's head on the window, like the windshield of his car. And all the goats on the farm are dead. They've all been sucked dry, and there's the head of a goat that just got fucking tossed like scraps. And it's all clawed up and shit. And we were like, what the actual living fuck? That night that he tells us that story, it starts to rain. And we had these huge sliding glass doors in the living room.
Yeah.
And I'm, of course, a little bitch. So I look outside, and there's no lights on outside because we turned all the floodlights off because it's time to go to bed, I guess. And I don't know what happened, but I swear to you, as a kid, that there was thunder, there was lightning, then there was some more lightning. And that second time, the lightning flashed light enough that it lit up the backyard. And it was probably a cat, probably a possum, something that has like night vision, so it has the
like
reflective
reflective
lenses. But I saw something yellow and green looking back at me from my backyard in the bushes, like not in the open area where the grass was, but just beyond that, right where the tree line starts.
Yeah.
Something was looking in the direction of my living room at me,
A
and
chupacabs.
I just like I evacuated my bowels spiritually, and then about 30 seconds later went to the bathroom, and my only reaction was to literally just let it go, just shit my pants. And I just, I Jackson Pollocked the toilet.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I went to sleep, and I was like, nope. Come
Nope.
6:30, I'm
closing. Gotta leave.
I'm closing the blinds at 6:30 from now on every evening. That was my creepy experience as a kid, as a little kid. As an adult, like I said, I know that what I probably heard that night was either a possum or a cat or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything out that was
Gazelle.
maliciously trying to kill me. Yes, like the wild
Lion.
gazelles of South Florida.
Everyone knows.
And then I know that the thing that was probably looking back at me was likely, again, a cat, a possum, chupacabra, something really nominal.
Yeah, lesser demon. Yeah, whatever.
Exactly. However, side note before I go into the adult story, and then we'll wrap this up.
The adult story.
Yeah, like the teenage story.
This one time when I was in a porno, like, holy shit.
Jesus, so as a young teen, like I think like 13 or 14, this new family moved in next door to us, and their son ended up becoming like my best friend. Like we grew up together.
Okay.
We went on a ton of adventures. Everything. Like we did a lot of like just dumb teenage shit together.
Yeah, all the dumb kid stuff.
Right. His stepmom, fantastic woman, super cute. She's like my second mom, basically. It was one of those houses where I didn't knock. I just walk in the front door and everyone's like, hey man, what's up? Made myself a sandwich, plop down, play video games with my second house.
Nice.
And she was a practicer. I think that a practitioner. Practicer is not a real word.
Nope.
Was a practitioner of the white magic, Wiccan, Is it Wicca? Wiccan? Wicker? Who knows?
Yeah, I guess it's like a Wiccan. Yeah, like white healing.
She
magic or some
apparently
shit.
decided that she wanted to summon a familiar to
Okay.
protect the household.
Okay.
The familiar she summoned apparently was something the size of a gorilla.
To protect what house?
Her house.
Her house.
Yeah, her backyard.
Okay, got it.
Mind you, their backyard was way more grass than ours was. Like they had their tree line was just like a line of snake plants along the back fence and like maybe
Oh.
a couple trees.
So the backyard was totally cleared out.
Pretty much.
Got it.
But that tree line that they had was tall enough that you couldn't see the house behind them. Like
Cool.
you'd have to physically like machete your way in there to get to the back fence. And one night, Chris and I are back there, and something is just fucking swanging, just moving through that fucking tree line. And we were like, yo, what the fuck is that noise?
Mm-hmm.
And it moves into my backyard. And I start hearing the trees in my backyard moving and shaking and rustling with
Yeah.
something that has to be human sized to produce that noise.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see the trees moving. This is like 7 o'clock at night. This
Yeah.
is like the sun is already below the horizon, but there's still like that purplish orange glow, and
Yeah.
you can see trees moving. And we're like, what the actual shit is going on? We were convinced it was the familiar that was
Yeah.
just like, I'm patrolling. Like this is what you summoned me for, dudes.
Yeah. I'm a gorilla. Magic's real.
I'm a magic fucking phantom gorilla. This is what happens now.
This guy's mom is fucking.
Apparently, the Wicked Witch of the West. She called me. I'm here now. What do you want? It never made any noise. Like we never heard like any like guttural noise that it produced. But it moved with a purpose, like a real purpose.
Yeah, it was fucking. It had some fucking speed on it.
Right. So fast forwarding to my like teenage like paranormal experience. I was 17 years old, I think 16 or 17, and we were gonna go to a camping trip to the Keys. I think we were gonna go to Flamingo Key to spend like 5 or 6 days there camping, right? It's gonna be me, my parents, my godparents. We're gonna bring their RV, some family friends, something chill, right?
Sounds hot.
It was pretty dope. A lot of barbecuing, a lot of talking shit, riding bikes, going on nature trails, all
Beautiful.
the,
That
all
sounds
the
like
good
beautiful
stuff.
childhood memories to me.
Oh yeah. So where we were in Flamingo Key, there's like no light pollution. You can see a lot of stars, right? It's far enough away that you can actually see like the dome of light surrounding Miami.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But where you are, you can see a lot of stars. It's not pitch black. It's not like middle of Yosemite National Park,
Yeah.
but it's close.
It's got some
Right.
fucking, some stars out there.
So at that point in my life, I was really getting into like space travel and like NASA and like the International Space Station, shuttle launches, all the cool stuff that kids get into. And I knew more or less from watching videos and looking at photos, like I know what a satellite looks like when it moves through our atmosphere. Like not a re-entry, just like, okay, that's not a star, that's a satellite. It's moving in a geosynchronous orbit.
Yeah.
Cool story.
I have a funny story about satellites after this. By the way.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like a tidbit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very funny.
So one night, I think it was like the third or fourth night that we're out there. I'm outside and I'm laying down with the daughter of one of the family friends that I was good friends with.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting out there, and Leah and I are just sitting down and we're just talking shit. In one of those lulls in the conversation where nobody's saying anything, I look up and I'm just looking at the stars, just, kind of like
Pondering.
pondering, and one of the stars moves. Like one of the ones that had not moved, that was stationary, moved. And it started just moving, like across the sky. It's going at a pretty good clip. And I tried to convince myself that I had maybe seen what I thought was a star, and maybe like a shooting star had passed into my field of vision, but it didn't, because then this thing fucking stopped and moved the other way.
So it goes across the sky.
It went across,
Stops.
like think about like a point of light in
Yeah.
the sky, like a small little dot, and it's standing still, and you're looking at it, and suddenly it starts moving to the left of your field of vision, and count like 5 to 7 Mississippis, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it stops and goes in the same direction it came from. So basically, it goes back the
to the
way it
starting
came,
point.
but not in the same trajectory. It made like basically like an acute angle, like it came down and then went across.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
And then when it went across and then shot off into space, never to be seen again. And I was like, I don't know a lot at my age, but I know that that's not normal because satellites don't move that way. Neither do stars.
Satellites also never stop.
Right. They keep going.
They
The
keep
space
on
station
spinning.
doesn't move like that. Shuttles don't move like that.
Nope.
Space capsules don't move like that. Nothing moves like that. So I'm convinced that what I saw that night was a UFO.
It was definitely a UFO.
But I mean it in the literal sense of the term. It was an unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
It was an object that's flying, and I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
Does that mean that it was powered by aliens? No. Does that mean that it was even from this dimension? No. Does that mean that it was actually an unidentified flying object? No. It could have literally been a piece of shiny space debris that bounced off of the ionosphere and then shot off into another direction, and that's what I saw. Who knows? I like to believe that the coolness of it was that I actually saw an alien spacecraft.
That'd be dope.
Is there enough evidence to suggest it? Probably not. But
No,
that doesn't
not at all.
That doesn't mean that it's not possible.
You're right. Also, the Air Force was finally forced to accept all the sightings of UFOs by pilots. Not that they're alien,
Well-
right? But the fact that they're seeing literal unidentified flying
Yeah.
objects. Like,
hey-
I don't know if this is like an enemy space. Like
It doesn't
an enemy
belong to us.
aircraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, or are you testing something that like is just
Right.
classified we don't know about?
Which-
but there's been way too many sightings. Or like something's happening.
Side note, the Pentagon released this thing admitting that they had a program called AA-TIP, which I think is like the AA-TIP was like advanced aerial something threat program or some shit like that. Basically, the Pentagon said
Who's
that
going to
for
be there? Just the AA tip.
just the AA-TIP. Just give me the AA-TIP. They basically were forced to show that for the last like 12 or something years, they've had like a mega multi-million-dollar project to identify like advanced aeronautical threats
Dope.
that didn't belong to us
Yeah,
that we know of. But I want to talk about that in the next episode because that's some funky shit.
it's fucking cool as shit.
It's dope to talk about too.
It's awesome.
What was the tidbit about satellites you wanted to throw in?
So we went camping a long time ago. It was like eight years ago, something like that. 7-8 years ago, and we weren't all the way in like the middle of nowhere, but we were far enough that we could see more stars than if you were in this city, right? So like double the star count in the sky. It was pretty nice. It was okay, and we're just like, oh man, let's go take a walk. Away from the fire so we can get like a better, so the light from the fire doesn't affect our vision. And one of the girls we were with, as we're talking about going on a walk to look at these stars, she's like, oh, all those are satellites, right? And
Wait.
all of us,
Time out. She was saying that in reference to the stars.
all the stars,
Any point of light in the sky.
any single point of light,
Oh my God.
all of us stopped collectively,
And beat the shit
Took
out of
a-
her, I hope. Like,
took a beat and kind of like processed what she just said. And we turned around and I was like, I'm sorry. What did you say? And she said, all those stars up there, she air quotes,
are you kidding?
are satellites. to
Okay.
which I was like, okay. And then we all just turned around and kept walking as if it didn't happen because it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. But yeah, it was a really funny story.
That's
And we laughed
amazing.
about it a lot later.
I hope.
We still laugh about it today.
Do I know this person? Have I met her?
Maybe, maybe not. I'll tell you off air.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll tell you off air.
Because I want to know now.
Yeah. No. You'll know off air. I'll tell you
Okay.
off
All right.
air.
Any big announcements?
I'm doing. So I mentioned it while you were taking care of some brown business. But I do have. So my first scene from acting class is out on YouTube on my acting classes page. It's Miami Acting Studio. If any of you beautiful shoppers could go and give it a view, maybe write a comment, let me know how I did, and just kind of get the view count on my video up. That'd be great because it would kind of increase awareness, like within my class, which would be pretty cool because I'm new. And then I did my first acting job
You did your first acting
this
job?
Sunday that just passed.
You already
Yeah.
got a job?
Yeah, well, I wasn't paid.
Oh,
but
okay.
I got chosen for a casting. It was for a scripted. I don't know if I could say the name, but it was for a scripted reality web series or TV series.
Really?
They're gonna pitch it to different channels, and I think like Netflix, Hulu, and then maybe YouTube Red.
Interesting.
I don't know if anything's gonna come of it, but
Whatever.
Yeah.
At least your name's in the drawing.
Yeah, so I'm in there and I play Antonio, and my scene partner is she plays Sarah, and we're a couple who have been dating for a couple months, and we get this game show where like they pull you off the street. It's like an off the street game show, so we have to pretend like, oh, we're like, hey, do you want to play this game? And basically during the scene, we met on an app that promotes like real relationships. So it's called Coffee Meets Donut.
Wow.
It's a real app.
Seriously?
Yes.
Coffee meets
The
donut?
the app for people who are looking for something real. Oh yeah. So she is on this app because she really wants to find somebody. She wants to have a relationship.
She wants
really
somebody to
something
put
serious.
She wants somebody to pour some coffee in her donut.
That's right. That's what's up. But forever.
Or
Right?
she wants to
Not
dip
for
her
like-
donut in
not
somebody's
for like
coffee.
3 nights a month.
Yeah. She doesn't want to be a Tinderella.
Yeah, no. She wants this fucking coffee donut merger to fucking happen. So my character Antonio is a straight up Miami player, baby.
So you want to give her the donut.
Oh, I want to give everybody the donut.
You want to break that donut off and
I
dip
want
it
to
in
give
their
her
coffee.
the donut. I want to give her sister the donut. I want to give her mom the donut. If her grandma's popping enough, I want to give her grandma the donut. You know what I mean?
You are both a beautiful and disgusting human being.
So
You son of a bitch, Antonio.
during the scene, the premise of the show is like they basically like go through your phone. So she starts finding out about all my fucking side pieces.
Oh shit, son.
So eventually I get real upset and I snatch my phone back. I'm supposed to get tackled by the camera guy because I'm being really aggressive to the host. I get into a huge fight with her.
So it's basically cheaters,
Oh, dude, and we make a scene. Now, mind you,
literally.
this is a run and gun shoot. This isn't like a closed set. This isn't anything. So we're on Lincoln Road. And there's just people being alive on Lincoln Road.
And they don't know that you guys are
They
from an
have
acting
no
class. They
idea.
think this is real.
No, and it's not from the acting class. Like, this was a separate production. It's just
Oh, okay.
one of the guys from acting class was producing on the show. So he told our acting teacher, he was like, hey,
Can I
we're
borrow?
producing. No, just let everyone know what we're doing. And like, they'll tell them to audition. Like, tell them to basically like send in their resume, their headshots or whatever. And I just happened to get chosen. So the felt good.
Okay, cool.
And also that same man said I was attractive.
You
know?
are. You're a very good looking man.
Thank you very much. So so this happens, and I know we did a good job because people on Lincoln Road were like, "What in the fuck is happening over here?"
That's the sound of the police. Boop, boop.
So yeah, it was really fun. It was really, really cool. Kimberly Champagne, the girl I work with, is awesome.
I'm going to stop you right there.
I knew you would. I knew you would. Real name?
Yeah, is it?
Real name?
Kimberly Champagne.
Kimberly Champagne, dude. It's a real name.
Kind of makes one wonder what her parents thought of her aspirations as an adult.
You know? Well, she's a great actress. She's a really cool person, super chill, and had a great time. We had a great time, and it was really fun.
All right. Well, I mean, shout
It
out
was
to
really
Kimberly
fun.
Champagne, I guess.
Shout out to Kimberly Champagne. Shout out to Andrew. Dude, your last name is like Otelia. Otelia. I don't know if I'm butchering that, but if I am, I'm sorry.
Well, if he listens, he can always just comment on the Instagram.
Ooh. But yeah, they're awesome, and had a really great time. It was really cool. It was really cool to do, even if it was free and like whatever it was.
Okay.
We shot for like 20 minutes, and it took like the whole thing took like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Dope.
But it was really cool, and I had a really good time, and it felt good. It felt good. So that was that's a big one. Look for that in like a month and a half, 2 months. I'll probably post a link to the channel.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, last night I had some friends over. Jay and Mitzi came over, and,
nice.
and Raina and all these people. And
I know them.
I attempted to do stand up in front of them just to kind of get a feel for what it sounds like to stand up in front of people and talk for 5 minutes.
Proud of you.
And I told like a 4.5 minute story,
Great.
and it felt super fast. Granted, it was in front of them. I'm sure when I get up on a stage in front of people, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I've been talking forever. You've been talking for 38 seconds. You have 4.5 minutes to go.
It probably feels like a long time.
The story fell completely flat, like nobody laughed, but I wanted to get an idea of what it'd be like to stand in front of people and talk nonstop for 5 minutes.
I'm fully going into this thinking that we're gonna bomb, like bad.
Right.
I'm not going into this thinking like I'm gonna be any good at it or anyone's gonna laugh.
Wait,
because
what,
I've
the
never
acting
done-
thing?
No. The stand up,
Oh, yeah.
the open mic. Oh, I'm gonna bomb for sure.
100%.
If I get one laugh from the back from a guy who's like half high and half dead,
I'll take it.
I'll be happy. Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
like, that guy's my guy.
Got it.
Thank you.
On our way to
Good night,
success.
Miami.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna bomb hard.
Ooh.
Also, I got more people on this train.
Yeah?
Oh yeah,
Are we just going to
I
do
almost got Matt there. Matt's thinking about doing it.
Yeah?
His girlfriend Jess is thinking about doing it.
Really now?
I'm really trying to convince Mitzi to get up there.
That'd be, dude, Mitzi would tell
I'm
some fucking
really trying to
stories.
get up.
Mitzi got up last night and told a story that was a fucking real
Man,
tank
she's
slapper.
she's good at it. She's
Yeah,
good
she
at
is.
it.
Also, big announcement. Your brother is helping us out a lot by apparently, for those of you who don't know,
Yes.
helping us out with our intro music.
He is.
It sounds incredible from the rough draft that we heard. Please keep me up to date because I want to know how he's going with that.
I will. So, sadly, my uncle's been in the hospital.
Yeah, I know you told me. I'm sorry
yeah.
about that, man.
It's all right. He'll be okay. And so life's kind of been a little cray-cray over there, so he
It
hasn't
happens.
gotten a chance. But I did talk to him today, and he was like, "Hey, I haven't forgotten. I'm still doing it. He wants to get it like down really good, and
Yeah.
then fully record it. So that should be coming soon, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I would
really
say
excited.
probably at latest by like maybe episode 8 or 9,
Mm-hmm.
we'll probably have it up and running.
Very excited about it.
I'm also really upset that you keep very delicately stroking every phallic object that's near you.
What are you talking about? I'm just podcasting.
In the most sexual way possible. Oh God,
It's
he's
not
doing
sexual. You're making it sexual. You know, I'm just here having a conversation with a friend.
it. The camera is going to prove this. I hope you know that.
What's it gonna prove, Elias?
Everything.
What's it gonna prove? Everything.
But yeah, I think that's basically it. I don't think we have any
that's
other big
it.
announcements.
No, that's it. Yeah.
It's the same shit as always. You can find us on fucking Instagram. Just search the Dairy Aisle. We're
Hey.
on.
Follow us on Instagram, the Dairy Aisle. That's
Yeah.
the most important one.
Yeah.
Follow us on the Dairy Aisle Instagram because we want to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
Like I was saying
absolutely.
on my rant, we want to talk to you guys. We love you guys.
Yeah.
If you listen,
We're now on iTunes. So we are on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're on Pocket Cast. We're on Podbean. We're on a couple others, I think.
by the way, I have a new level of listener.
Oh yeah.
You come in, you're a shopper, right? You're
Right.
a shopper. You're in our store.
This is going to be for our Patreon.
Yeah, you're perusing.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Once you're committed, you're a regular, baby.
Oh shit, son.
You're a regular at the Dairy Aisle.
Oh,
We know
fuck.
you by name.
We already know your list.
We see your car come in. We know
Oh shit. Look.
Janice. She wants some fucking milk.
Oh shit.
knows
Look at
what's
that. It's
up.
Angela. She needs eggs.
Oh, you know it. I don't know why it's mostly women coming to this shopping center, but
Probably because we're such sexy beasts.
oh, so sexy.
Not really. I am a hideous blob of human cells that decided to divide one day.
Humans.
Yeah, no, I'm
But
fucking.
yeah, so
ugh.
follow us on Instagram. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Send us some love.
I'm hoping by the end of the year we can actually like get a Patreon going, so that those of you that listen and want to help contribute to the show,
for sure.
and it can be something stupid like donate $1, a month or something like that, and we'll try to do fun shit like answer your actual personal questions.
Well, I would like
in
to
an
do, so I
episode.
was talking about maybe having a segment where people write in. That'd
Right.
be cool. I was also thinking if you donate at a certain tier, like at a certain level, and we
Right.
get enough of it, maybe we could start do a video version too.
Yeah, and I was also talking with Mills about possibly
know?
next year looking into doing like a little bit of swag, like doing like stickers and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
And like
That'd be
actually
super
having some
cool.
merch, but whatever. That's
Maybe talking to Teespring, doing T-shirts.
Ooh,
But
that'd be nice.
merch is not. We're what? This is episode 6.
This is episode 6. We're already talking about
we're not
merch
there
and
yet.
shit.
Yeah, we're
Nah,
not there
nah.
yet.
But
We're not
whatever.
even
It's,
there
it's
yet.
nice to dream.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again for the 6th time, thank you for shopping. It has been an absolute pleasure having you here tonight.
The store will be closing in the next few minutes, so if you could
Take all your purchases.
come to the front of the store so we could ring you up and send you on your way.
You ladies and gentlemen have a wonderful evening.
We love you.
We do. Mad love, yo.
Please come again.
Bye.